Hello YouTube, Dave here again, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Dungeons & Dragons Stranger Things Welcome to the Hellfire Club starter set, or box set. This is a brand new release, and it just came in the mail. Well, not the mail, because Canada Post is on strike for the second time in less than a year, but it did come through courier. I ordered this from 401 Games, and I was hoping to also show off the miniature set that comes along with it. However, there was a bit of a mix-up, and in the other box that should have had the set of minis, it was awfully hefty because they just accidentally gave me another copy of the box set. So I'm going to get in touch with them and kind of see what was going on, what we can sort of work out. They're out of stock of the miniature set, so I don't know how that's going to work out, and I don't know how it's going to work out with like shipping and stuff like that, because it's now that we're limited to courier services here in Canada, that stuff gets really expensive. So we'll see, but for now I'm just going to hold on to it, and we'll talk it over with them, I guess. But yeah, we're going to do the unboxing here, and this is the second Stranger Things starter set to come out. The first one came out years ago, and I have a sealed copy, and only a sealed copy, because I originally had two, and I found the set to be so lazy and, bare minimum effort, or just like poorly written or poorly designed, that I have no interest in having like an open copy. So I've got my sealed copy that's going to stay like that probably forever. But this one shows a lot more promise, and yeah, again, looks like some really cool artwork here. If you were to see this on a store shelf, it would probably catch your attention. It does have some of like the board game things on here, like the amount of players, the expected play time, and 45 plus minutes. I mean, obviously, I don't know too many sessions that only go for like 45 minutes, but anyway. It's still pretty cool to see. Like I said, I do like the artwork on it here. It does have the contents listed on, looks like, is it all the sides? Okay, it's this side, the bottom, and okay, so it's just the side and the bottom. So in this, we do get a quick start guide, 4 adventure booklets, 2 double-sided poster maps, 4 handouts, double-sided Hellfire Club poster, Hellfire Club photo, a Dungeon Master screen, a combat tracker, 91 cards for spells, magic items, and monsters, 72 tokens for characters and monsters, 15 character sheets, and 11 game dice. So that is pretty impressive. I will say, like the 15 character sheets, it's the same 5 characters, but just at levels 1, 2, and 3. But there is a lot of from what I've seen of the images online, and what you can kind of get a look at here, this has a very like old school first edition kind of feel to it. I'm excited to see the screen there. I didn't realize that was included. And on the back here it says, relive Stranger Things, travel back in time to the spring of 1986 with immersive components like Hellfire Club members, ready to play character sheets, collectible cards, double-sided club poster, Hellfire Games, battle vile monsters from demo dogs to devils, and delve into the Veil of Shadows, and solve dockside murders across 4 adventures. Every adventure has many potential possibilities and outcomes. And for all fans, this game is a blast for all skill levels, and everything that you need to play is included. So again, this would fall under the starter set label, so it's going to be going into the rotation for my starter set Saturday voting polls when at some point in the very, very near future. So yeah, this is really cool. Now, I will be completely and totally honest here. I have never watched Stranger Things. I tried watching the first episode like years ago, I think even before season 2 came out, and I just couldn't get into it myself personally. And, the idea is like, well, they play D&D, like, that's cool, and it's kind of neat to see them, like, the idea that they view what's going on around them kind of, like, in-game terms, but it just didn't resonate with me. However, I do love a good old-fashioned starter set, and I do love me a good old-fashioned box set, so, yeah, here we go. Let's just go ahead and see if I can get this open, because I forgot to bring my razor knife over, my X-Acto knife. So I guess when I'm opening this up, like, should I try to go back and watch Stranger Things? Like, I only really gave it the one shot. Is it something that I really should try to go back and watch and try to grow renewed appreciation of, or is my dog gonna bark at another dog outside or a squirrel? So I apologize for that. I'm just gonna pause and hopefully he'll be done soon. Okay, I think he's just about done because he switched over to his little howl, which I kind of wish I hadn't gotten on camera, but that's okay. So yeah, we'll do the unboxing. Now the retail price on this, I wasn't able to. I forgot to check it out. I know that the Canadian version is like $50-$60, but the Canadian versions of everything are more expensive. So I think it was $50 Canadian, which would put this at around, I think around 40 something dollars US. I'm not entirely sure on that. If it does go into the starter set Saturday rotation and you see something else again. If it goes into the rotation, then I will be sure to look up the retail price there. And if somebody knows it off the top of their head or they can put it in the comments, then that's cool too. I'll pin that as a pinned comment. But this is pretty hefty, like just, feeling like the weight of everything that's in here, compared to the earlier starter sets, like the other Stranger Things box set that came out, felt like it weighed almost nothing. So there's quite a bit of stuff in here. So we'll take a look at what we have. What we have is a pretty tight-fitting box there. There we go. Alright, so there is our Hellfire Club photo. So again, if you're a fan of the Stranger Things, then that'll really, I guess, be something that resonates with you. We do have our Read Me First, which also does have, again, it's cool to see actual art, because in the previous set, it was screenshots from the show, which I have always said for licensed products, like, I understand if they go that direction, but it's nice when they don't, sort of thing. And there's a whole bunch of the minis that, unfortunately, I can't show off because they sent the wrong thing, but that's okay. And then the component breakdown onto the back of the box there. So yeah, again, really, really cool. Similar to the new 5e starter set, the books do have this sort of like stitch binding. And of course, it has the old school, like, basic expert, like the Menser Cook, like the D&D style there with like the lettering and like the red booklet here, the play guide. So it sort of goes over the different components. And the character sheets are yellow, which I guess was how some like the older ones were. I think if you bought like some of the official ones, I think back in the day, I'm not 100% on that. Because I've never really seen official older like character sheets for like first edition AD&D or stuff like that. So like I think yellow was the color that they came in, but let me know if that's incorrect. And then we've got like the monster cards, the dice, which we'll have to take a look at here. They give them sort of like a stone look. I wonder if they've actually got like different colors on them. And again, some decent artwork in here. You've got characters from the show, but they're presented in art form. Now, there were comics, so it'd be interesting to know if these were taken from like some of the comics, because, again, if that's the case, then that's perfectly fine. I do prefer seeing artwork over still images, though. So already the amount of like effort that's gone into this set, just from looking through the first book, is like insanely better than the original one, in my opinion. So we got our rules, little glossary there, magical effects, monsters, opportunity attacks. We got a little, I guess that's a gas spore. Looks, yeah, it must be a gas spore because it's puffing out stuff there. And again, like the old school black and white artwork there. Some notes on the back. And so, we got our little modules here. And again, this is really cool because they also all have the look of like those old school, basic expert modules. it would have been nice to have seen, like, I mean, this does have, like, EM on that. And that has, like, the HFC. But it would have been nice to have had, like, a little, like, letter and number code, like B1 or B2 or, like, stuff like that from back in the day. Because these would have all been B modules if they're using, like, the basic rules, because these are all levels 1 through 3. But we got the Vanishing Gnome, and I don't want to give away too much here, again. But basically, the premise of this scenario, I did look through this one a little bit here. I did pick it up on D&D Beyond as well, just to have in case I decided to like run it or something like that. And sometimes just having it on the phone is a little bit easier. But what was kind of neat is this is like this. I think it's a gnome or a halfling. I think it's a gnome. Basically, like contacts the players and challenges them to essentially a game of hide and seek. Although his version of hide and seek is very, very dangerous, and I don't think anybody's actually successfully found him yet. So it's a very different premise from what you would normally get. So really cool to see there. Again, a unique sort of setup for your initial adventure. Then we've got Scream of the Crop. And this feels like it's kind of like the Castle Amber color. I know it's not necessarily related, but it's got like that orangey vert color there. And again, we got our characters. Some map stuff there. And again, all like the black and white artwork to make it feel like the old school D&D. Really cool stuff. Ballad of the Rat King is the third scenario. Again, some really cool looking artwork in here. Some nice map work. Again, I do love like the fact that they're referencing like the old school art style there. You know, to make this really feel like it's a product that came out in the 80s. It even has like fake wear and tear on the books, which is also kind of neat to see. And then I'm not going to open this one up at all because it's the final scenario, but Devil Metal Die. And then we got some handouts. Looks like. And we also have one that is an Infernal Contract. So if your character dies, you can make this Infernal Pact to return your character. And it even has like the Infernal script on one side and the translated version on the other. So that's really cool. We have like a missing poster from one of the scenarios. And then we've got our character sheets here. So I'm not going to go through every single one, but actually maybe I should, because I did see that somebody's box they posted online that it came with 2 of the level 2 character sheets for one of the characters and not the level 1. So let's just move some of this stuff over. Give me a little bit more room here. Alright, so we've got okay, the player name. Where's the character name? Oh, Lady Applejack. Okay, it's on the side here. So Lady Applejack, level 1, level 2, and level 3, so that's good. Then we've got Nog the Dwarf. So level 1, level 2, and level 3. And we've got Sundar the Bold, level 1, level 2, and level 3. So I think we're going to be okay here. And then we've got Tear the Paladin, so level 1, level 2, and then level 3. And then the final character is Will the Wise, and that's level 1, level 2, okay, and level 3. So I've got all my components correctly. I will say in the past, I did receive, like, I did buy a box set that was missing some of the cards, like the components in it from the D&D Essentials kit. And the customer service was really good for me at that point, and they sent out the replacement parts very quickly without any issues. So if you do buy this set, and they did mix up the character sheets, and you're missing one of them, just contact their customer service, and they'll get you taken care of. At least, like I said, from when I had an issue with it, I had zero issues like contacting them and getting it fixed. And that wasn't like me contacting them, letting them know I'm a review or anything. I don't even think I used my normal email when I contacted them. But anyway, it was really, really quick and easy and seamless. So if you don't get all the proper character sheets, just let them know. And we do have our maps here as well. So we've got, was it 2 maps? I think this is our poster, actually. Yeah. So there is our poster for the Hellfire Club. And then, and then on the back, it's got Grey Hawkins instead of Grey Hawk, so it's like their own legally distinct, I guess, campaign setting. And I'm not going to go through and open up the maps here on this video, but it is cool to see. See, they do have this little holder here. That should keep them relatively from moving around or getting damaged. And then we've got our tokens. So our monster tokens, really cool. We got some bigger monster tokens. And we got our player tokens there, and the player tokens actually have the bases. I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera, but you got the base there to put them in. So even though I don't have the minis to do the video, to show the video here, you can still use those, and again, that's really, really cool to see. And then we've got our screen, and oh my goodness, okay. And the screen is actually like the nice thick cardstock. And they've limited conditions to a single panel, as opposed to like a panel and a half like they did in the past. They got the action summary here. Improvising damage. The skill table. Now, the skill table is really useful for me because I've got so many different versions of different RPGs in my head. And all of them like to use different names for different skills that do the same thing. So to have that in front of me is actually really handy. And then you've got the world of Grey Hawkins there, which looks like it's taped on the other panel. And the artwork is actually really cool looking as well. Kind of has that like hand-drawn art style to it there. But there's more. Like this isn't your cardboard divider just to like take up space. This is a cardstock sheet, and we do have the tray once again underneath. So we got our dice set, which I think is the same dice as the Borderlands starter set. And then we got our spell cards, our equipment cards. We do have our combat tracker, which is the same one from the other starter set. And then we've got our monster cards. Along with... Actually, I think I am going to open up the monster cards. Just to show some of them off here. Just because, again, it's got like that old school black and white like ink art that you would see in the first edition AD&D stuff, as well as the basic expert and all those. So we have what you can do on your turn, and then we've got the ant cake here. And what's actually kind of neat, again, is that it looks like it's a sticker that was placed on the card. And then you got like the stats there. So Barb Devil, Bearded Devil, which I actually have minis for. Commoners. I guess I should go back and make sure I'm actually showing these. Barb Devil, Bearded Devil. Alright, Commoner, Cultist and Demogorgon. Some of the actual like NPCs. It's a really vicious looking gnoll there. Imp Trickster, Shrieker Fungus. So really cool stuff. I love the I do love like the old school inspired art. And again, like the fact that this set comes with the tray. Now, it does not come with the baggies, though. That's one thing that's a little bit of a disappointment, because the starter set came with Ziploc bags that you could use for your tokens and stuff. But I think there's enough things here that you can press on top of this that you probably don't have to worry about them like coming out or sliding out or anything like that. But this is still, again, a really, really awesome set, like just in terms of quality of the stuff that they put into it. And like if you compare this starter set just in terms of what's included, like you compare this starter set to the like Dragons of Stormreach Isle or Stormrack Isle, I think it's Stormrack Isle, or the 2014 starter set. Like it's just the amount of stuff that they include here is absolutely incredible. In these newer, like between the new starter set and this, I'm really blown away by the amount of things that they've been able to include in these box sets. So, you know, I would definitely give this a recommendation in terms of like if you're interested in, if you're a sucker like me and you just love box sets, like this is a really good one to have. If you're a fan of the show, I think this is a far better representation of the show than the original starter set they came out with, which really felt like super rushed and like just low effort compared to this. Like this one, you can tell that like people worked hard on this and they wanted this to look the part. They wanted this to feel like it belonged. In those, you know, old school days of, basic expert and what they would have been using for like their D&D rule set, back at that point in time. And I think they did a really good job with it. You know, like this is a more expensive set compared to their previous ones, obviously. But you're getting a ton of stuff in here, like the tokens. Stuff like that used to have a monetary value attached to it. That DM screen being like the thick card stock. Like in Canada, they sell those screens for like $25 here. So that's about half the price of the box set just for the screen alone. You get 4 different little mini modules that you can use. You've got the character sheets already done for you. So you don't have to even worry about like leveling up the character. It's already taken care of for you. So that's really cool to see. You've got, again, the tokens, the maps, the poster, if you're a big fan of Stranger Things, is really cool. I think if I were to ever do anything with the poster, I would have it displaying the Greyhawkins world map instead of this artwork here. But, I think they did a really solid job. Like, so far, when it comes to the presentations of their newer products, I am like really impressed. And it is one of those things where it is a licensed property. I know that's going to come with a limited appeal. It's not going to be for everybody. I totally understand that. If you're not interested in the new version of the D&D rules, that's cool too. We're all adults. We're all able to, make our own decisions, and we can do, whatever we want or not want to do with our money. Like, that's totally fine. It doesn't change the fact that these last 2 box sets that Wizards of the Coast has put out have been some of the like highest quality box sets that I've seen in quite a while, especially from them. Like just from Wizards of the Coast alone, this box set and the previous starter set that just came out would easily be the top 2 best like starter set or box sets that I've seen come out in the last like 20 years, 25 years at that rate. So I'm really impressed. I'm looking forward. I am interested in giving this a run at some point, so I might have to look into that. There is a board game group that I've gone to certain events for, so I might inquire about running some of this stuff there or the Borderlands starter set there. Trying to figure something out, but yeah, this is really cool. I'm glad I have it in my collection. I am tempted to give Stranger Things another try, and if you're interested in the Stranger Things series, or if you just love a good quality box set or starter set, then this is a really, really good one for you. And because it is licensed, it might be something that after your group ends up playing through it, maybe they check out the show and they really enjoy it. So who knows? Anyway, thank you all so very much for your time. I truly appreciate it. We will see you in the next one. Until then, take care.